I grew up, my whole life, I lived like an hour and a half north of Milwaukee. I lived in Oshkosh. But if you want to play basketball, you gotta go through Milwaukee. You ain't got no choice.
He had a, I want to be part of this. He had a, I am going to do this. We didn't have to ask him, are you ready to go to practice? He was ready to go. He wanted to conquer this thing called greatness as a young kid.
When I got to high school, I started probably taking it more serious. I'd like meet with the principal and get like a hall, like a morning pass, so like the janitors would let me in so I could get in the gym. I wasn't the kid at the top that was like trying to stay there. I'm the kid that's way at the bottom trying to like chase that.
Cared more about assists and getting his teammates involved than he did about his points. He never worried about points. I mean, they had to be up a lot in order to get the 10th and the 11th player to see the court. He would make sure they got up that so they could get on the court and score.
You know, for me growing up, I would say what made me different was at a young age, I just kind of understood you know, the importance of like team camaraderie and getting everybody involved. I mean, obviously we won a lot. You know, like I was a better player growing up, but it was a lot more fun for me to get my teammates involved and see them have success. You know how it is now with grassroots basketball. It's all about the circuit. So Nike's obviously the biggest. There's Adidas, Under Armour, all that stuff. I didn't do none of that. Like I played with like my local team. Like I had the opportunity to, I could have played Nike, I could have played Under Armour, I could have played Adidas, but I was like, I'm just gonna play with my homies because like I had mid-major offers. I knew I was gonna go to Northern Iowa, and I was like, shit, we gonna make it crack there. Like it is what it is. We played my last AU tournament. You know, you go to Vegas, Fab 48. No shoe circuits. It's just roll the ball out. There's Nike, Adidas, Under Armour. We all there. And we played Team Rio, who had Brian Antoine, who's a 5-star point guard, and Scotty Lewis, 5-star wing. And I cooked them. I played, I had a really good game. We lost, but like every coach in the country, it felt like was there. And so I remember the game got done, and like I was like, man, ain't nothing. But in my head, I was like, yo, this is about to go up. This is about to go up. Next thing I knew, I had like Nebraska offered me, Michigan wanted me to come on a visit, Iowa State offering me, all this stuff kind of coming around. And I was like, and I was sick because I couldn't go to Northern Iowa. I knew I was going there since I was like 16.
Yeah.
So I had to go to, I mean, I didn't have to, but you know, you got to kind of make that move. But when I got to school, I talk about this all the time. Taylor Horn Tucker, we went to school together, 2 other guys that were 4-stars at the time. I remember we was sitting in one of the seniors' apartments, and they was asking us like, you know, what's y'all plan? How long y'all think y'all gonna be here? Because we was like the highest recruiting class. And Taylor was like, a year. I was like, I'm going to NBA. Like, Tyrese, what you think? So I'm probably have a good 4-year career. You know, try to fight to get to the NBA. You know, that was like my biggest thing. Because like, you know, dudes from Iowa State, Monte Morris, George Niang, like they had to fight to get where they are.
So his mother and I took him to Iowa State. And I pulled him on the side and I told him, you put your eyes on the best person that's in there. And that's who you challenge. And that's who you go after. Because I did not bring you here to sit on the bench. I brought you here to get on the floor.
About 13 feet from the bucket on the left baseline. Knocked away, stolen by Haliburton. And a great outlet pass to Sheehan for a right-hand. Up to that point, to the break. Oh, good look by Haliburton. And Lewis scores. Underneath Jacobson, cross-court kick out. Open 3, Haliburton. Good. And outlets to Haliburton. Then runs the floor. Gets it back from Tyrese for a layup. 94. There's another assist for Haliburton. Finds Haliburton. Quick no-look pass to Condon for a two-hander. And there's the school record for assists.
I would say the first like stamp I got that I was like, yeah, I'm here, was we played Kansas, like our first conference game or second conference game at the crib. We beat them by 20. They were top 5 in the country at the time. And I remember Bill Self going through the handshake line was like, you can play anywhere in the country. Like, and he said in the post-game presser, like, that's one of the best backcourts in the country. Yeah. And I was like, wow. Because, again, coming into the year, nobody even knew who I was. Yeah. And so now we're only, 13 games in a year, and he's already saying that. And I was like, yeah, I know I belong. And from there, just took off.
Haliburton spinning, flips it up, and he's lost the handle for a moment. Haliburton tips it away. Tyrese Haliburton will not return to this game. Haliburton, yes!
Trying to get it to Jacobson. Shot from Haliburton. Haliburton, oh my goodness!
The enemy's pass stolen. He gets it off in time. Got it! Haliburton!
Welcome back. Sports, they're awesome. Injuries, they're not. Today we're reminded of that as Iowa State sophomore guard Tyrese Haliburton, a potential top 5 pick in this summer's NBA draft, announced that he would be missing the rest of the season with a left wrist fracture.
I remember playing K-State, I go up to block a shot and it takes my legs out and I go to catch myself again, just human instinct, And I knew my season was over. I didn't for sure say I was gonna leave. And I remember meeting with Coach Prom on our exit meeting, and me and my dad in there, and my mom's in there, and I'm like, Coach, I don't really know if I'm gonna leave. He said, well, you're not coming back here.
When he decided to go, we knew that he was ready then because, we had a talk with Coach Prom, and Coach Prom had a talk with me and told me that he's ready, John. I hate to lose him, but it's time for him to go.
Yeah, so my emotions on draft night, there was a lot of them. I think I just kept telling myself and telling everybody, like, I'm not gonna cry, like I'm excited, I can't wait. It was a different experience. It was different than what anybody's ever had to go through. Everybody else gets to, go to New York, get the 5-star treatment, get to shake commissioner's hand. ESPN, to the top guys who are gonna be on the camera, they sent a car to everybody's house. So I had a dude in my garage, right, with all the wires hooked up to a car with a big satellite in my driveway. I put my suit on and sat on my couch in my living room, but I liked that because it was just unique. I got to enjoy it with all my family and friends. Man, it was crazy because I'm sitting here in my couch and my fam with me, my girl with me, my brothers with me, and every pick going by, we're just looking at it. I'm looking over at my agent because, going into the draft, I was like, Jay Billis does his best available, and I was 4th.
He could have gone number 2 overall. I know that the Warriors loved him. He could have gone, number 4, number 5. There are all kinds of spots that he could have gone, but for whatever reason, the way that the draft played out was shocking.
I honestly think that someday there will be a 30 for 30 made on Tyrese's draft night. It's one of the more confounding things that has happened for him to fall to the Kings.
With the 12th pick in the 2020 NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Tyrese Haliburton from Iowa State University.
I've personally spoken to teams that drafted 13, 14, 15, whose general managers and head coaches have told me personally, when we saw he was available at 10, we started crossing our fingers and saying a lot of prayers. The Kings got the steal of the draft.
He's not a guy that's going to take years to develop. You already see the basketball IQ. The only question was, would it translate?
A lot of things to look forward to, off the court, but on the court as well. I'm ready for these challenges and ready to, get started.
Coach Tim Gergerich, who's like the mentor of NBA basketball, one of the best assistant coaches ever, he had a chance to see Tyrese before play, and the first thing he said was, don't mess with his shot. So the whole time when I first got with him and just giving him the ball, the first thing I noticed and came back to my head was everything Coach Gerg had said to me was, don't mess with his shot. And the minute we started working out, he rattled off like 10 straight. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely not messing with his shot. Talking to him that first day on the court, what was his goals, what was his dreams, wanted to see where he wanted to go. He has a maturity about him that's ready to work.
When I saw that we had drafted Tyrese, I liked him. Not to mention, it just happens to be that he has the ability to mix with your star in De'Aaron Fox in a really good way.
I thought for sure we could play together because like I played the two like I had to, so it was like now it's just kind of getting back to what I've done before. I know what I'm doing to be the two guard.
I was definitely excited for the fit. I mean, he's someone who can play both on and off the ball. I mean, he's long, tall, can shoot the ball. I mean, he does everything at a really high level.
When you have sort of the veteran voice of the team befriending and guiding and mentoring your rookie, that's a good sign both directions. It seems to me the more you get to know him, the more impressed you are with him.
Against Booker. Gives it up to Haliburton. 5 on the shot clock. Got to get busy with it. Haliburton off glass. Got it. Haliburton across the midcourt line. Will launch. Got a clean look. Haliburton got it. By the way, it was the 4th Pacers foul. Haliburton a deep 3.
When I got there my rookie year, I was like, whatever they need me to do, I'm gonna do. So I came off the bench, and it was a fun growing experience. I learned a lot.
Elects not to try and post up Mannion. Step back 3 on the way. Foul! Count it! Let's go for 4! And all the basketball. Basketball. Haliburton punching it home.
Driving, kick, Tyrese, 3. Bang!
I would say I had a lot of success early in my rookie year, and that's just I was like, man, I really feel like I belong. You know, I really feel like I can be a good player in the league. And I wouldn't say to where I am now, I didn't really have that feeling until like my second year.
Here's Haliburton, 35 already tonight for him. Got to get one off soon. Tough shot behind the backboard, and Haliburton hits it.
I was like, whoa, like that's the first time I've ever really felt that way about my game before. Like I really feel like I can be like really special.
We welcome you back with breaking news from the NBA as the trade deadline approaches. The Indiana Pacers continue to make moves. Our agent Ward Janowski reports Indiana trading Domantas Sabonis, Justin Holiday, and Jeremy Lamb to the Sacramento Kings for Tyrese Haliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan.
What's the instant reaction around the league to Sacramento trading Tyrese Haliburton?
Stunned. I think Tyrese Haliburton was stunned, Malika. The league is stunned at this trade and the fact that he was even available. This was a player who everyone had thought, including Tyrese Haliburton, that he'd be the cornerstone for their future.
Welcome to Indiana.
Yeah,
What's the last couple of days been like for you?
It's been a whirlwind. It's been crazy, a lot of emotions, but I'm excited to be here and excited to get started. So,
it's such a reality check, man. We getting that call. It was like the first time in my basketball career, probably since like high school, because when you're in high school, you're highly recruited, you're a recruited kid, like everybody shows you love, like you're on top of the world. It was the first time I felt like unwanted. Pack a suitcase to get on the plane in the morning, you land, go get your MRIs and stuff, practice the next day, and I think we played the day after that. And again, just so much anger that I'm having to like suppress and not show, because at the end of the day, although Sac got rid of me, Indy's happy to have me. My new teammates are excited. Everybody's excited. It's a new start.
Now Haliburton, he's going to toss it up and hits his first shot as a member of the Pacers. Nice pass. Smith pounds it down.
They trapped it a little bit. What a pass.
Haliburton cutting is Taylor. But it's going to be exciting to see Haliburton and Duarte. Look at that pass.
But he is the prototypical 5 now with that size and quickness.
Oh, look at that pass.
You get a team right at 8. That tend to be a little bit of a problem. No look, delivered on time, on target.
I was just playing. Like, I was just out there just trying to play and show who I am, because now I'm getting the opportunity to, I'm the full-time guy. There's nobody else. Like, if I mess up, I'm playing through mistakes more. I'm forced to. I'm being looked at to take game-winning shots, and like, I ain't never been looked at to do that in my life. You know what I mean? I ain't never been asked to do that.
Here's a long 3. Haliburton got it! Yeah! Haliburton.
Oh, looking for help. 6'9" and 6'10".
Oh, Haliburton throws it down. Haliburton inside, puts it up and in.
Make it work, Tyrese.
Here comes Haliburton in transition around the back. No look to Mathurin. What a dime from Tyrese Haliburton.
back there with Nembhard. They were able to get it, and no look gets it on the other end. Nice fake. Even Haliburton liked that one.
A hardwood hero in the heartland and a first-time All-Star. He runs the show for the Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Haliburton.
At All-Star, you know, that's when you get to take a step back and really get to reflect on what's going on. It's just like, wow. You know what I mean? Can't even believe that this is happening. But, man, it just means the world to me. And the fans have been awesome to me. Our organization has been awesome to me. And we definitely feel the love. And it's just now it's just, you know, about, you know, trying to get wins and, you know, trying to help get Indy back to what they were doing, you know, previously and how I was growing up and, you know, hopefully, you know, being able to win a championship one day.
Maybe their greatest moment in international basketball. The men's team have come out and they have reached the podium. They have won the third-place game against the United States.
I think the biggest thing that I took away from USA, and I've said this multiple times now, is like, I'm just tired of losing, man. Like, like USA was kind of the first time that I had real expectations to win something in a long time and still didn't win. So I'm like, I'm coming home, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, you gotta change something. Like, something gotta change. Like, maybe it's not you, but it's you. You know what I mean? Like, figure it out. I'm just trying to change some habits to win, man, because this losing stuff, it gets draining for sure.
And they'll count it. Missed it. Blocked by Turner. Running.
Great pass.
They're 8 of 19 from three-point range. 5 straight points. And Haliburton counted foul. Morgan and Gotti off the
Teardrop off the glass.
Haliburton beats Walker. Count it and a foul.
I'm just trying to be who I am every day and coming in with Rick and coming into this year, he pulled me aside and was like, hey, man, I don't want to call plays anymore. I want you to be the head of it. And that meant the world to me because if I got trust from him, you know, like you said, a championship coach, he's been around great players. He's coached amazing dudes in this league. If he got trust in me, then how can I not trust myself?
In 5 games, that's 5 per game. Here's a step back. Haliburton.
That's a shake of my...
7 to shoot. Haliburton.
You gotta go work.
Here's a 3. Tyrese.
You have to go to work. Big hoop. Big hoop. Dude, that's a big hoop there. Forces a timeout. That is a huge hoop there by Haliburton. Great job by Haliburton. A little ball fake defense there. Let it go, Hallie.
Got it again. Haliburton. Only shot 41%. Haliburton gets inside. Count it. Amude the foul. These fans will see a quarterfinal game in the in-season tournament here as Haliburton throws it down.
Nah, man, I'm in a good spot right now. I'm in a good place, mentally, physically. I just feel good with my game right now. And I think throughout the season, there's moments right now where I feel like it's just me, the ball, my defender, and nobody else there sometimes.
Tyrese Haliburton right now averaging 26.9 points per game, 11.9 assists, 52% from the field. No player has averaged 25 points, 10 assists, and 50% shooting for an entire season.
He's like Jason Kidd. He's like Steve Nash. He gets other people involved. That's why he's leading the league in assists.
If this guy averages 25, 26 points a game, 11 assists on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits, you're talking about something that's unprecedented.
He's a superstar. There's no other way to put it. And this ascension from really fun, really good rookie to where he's at now in his 4th year is fairly astonishing.
We are off and running. What a scene, what an atmosphere here in Indianapolis tonight. This is going to be fun. Haliburton lights the lamp from deep. Haliburton switching left hand into a good look. Haliburton trying to shake Holiday. Off balance 3, and he knocks it down. 7 on the timer. Haliburton trapped. Off balance 3, and he puts it in. And a chance at 4. And a breakthrough moment for this upstart Indiana Pacers team.
Haliburton pushes. Alley-oop to top. Oh, no! What a connection! Sensational move from Tyrese Haliburton. Pacers clinging to a 5-point lead. Haliburton tries another three. Bang! Tyrese Haliburton.
I know what time it is.
And us having success has been good because I feel like it's forced the media to talk about basketball and talk about what's in front of you and not have to talk about legacies and all the BS that come with it and talk about basketball. So, I think that's what's been good about us succeeding. And of course, there's going to be people have said MVP or All-NBA, All-Star, whatever, like that happens. But at the end of the day, I just want to play basketball and I want to succeed as a team.
I remind him, Tyrese John, when you started this sport, you was playing, you was smiling. You're playing now, I need to see you smile. Because when you smile, that tells me you're saying, Dad, I'm still enjoying myself. When you are not smiling, win or lose, that's telling me, Dad, basketball is beginning to become a job to me. And I don't want it to become a job to you, because when it becomes a job to you, you start working at it for the wrong reason. But when you enjoy it, you start working with it for the right reason.
Milwaukee 49-33, Pacers 47-35. We're underway in Milwaukee. 9-6 lead for Milwaukee. Both teams open up 3 of 8. Haliburton gets all the way to the 10. In the front court. Nice no-look pass and turnover. Pound it down. Shot clock down to 1. Got to pull. Nembhard. Haliburton, no! Say it with your chest, Tyrese. 6 seconds to go. Crosses over on Beverly. Float game for the win! Tyrese! The terror!
It's my first time in the playoffs, and it's just exciting to win this one. So we're going on the second round. I just love being here, love being with the Pacers. Everybody here is amazing to me. And, we're not done yet. What Gino say? They wrote me off. I ain't right back.
8th time these two franchises will meet in the playoffs. Quarter, they're down 7 right now, and Haliburton lets a 3 fly and hits one. Big shot for the Pacers. Haliburton sets, fires, hits again. Tyrese Haliburton, 16 points here in the first half. Haliburton hits a 3. Tyrese Haliburton from way down. And the Indiana Pacers back in the conference finals, first time in a decade.
Tyrese Haliburton needs to be a lot more aggressive. When he's aggressive, they're a very difficult team to beat. And I kept saying, go Hallie, go Hallie, go Hallie, and he went.
When I play aggressive, and I just talked to you guys about this last game, and it seems to be the only thing that can be talked about by everybody after every game. I think for me it's just feeling out the game, what's needed in that game, and I knew, today's game 7, unload the clip, have no regrets, because I would hate to, be pissed all summer about not shooting the ball today. So, for me it was just about coming out playing the right way.
That's it, it's over. The Celtics are heading back to the NBA Finals on another crushing finish for these Indiana Pacers.
We know we can play with these guys. That's for y'all to say that we don't, there's a lot of people out here saying we don't belong here. We don't really care. We know we belong.
From the in-season tournament run to where we are now, nobody expected this at the beginning of the season. We were hopeful that one playoff series would be what we get to cover.
If the Pacers just made the playoffs, that would have been like a good, fun experience. Wow, we're talking about meaningful basketball in late April, early May. I think there was so many highs. There were lows, but this team always managed to find a way to bounce back. Even though they got swept in the conference finals, we all saw enough to be excited about running it back. They couldn't get it done, but they will come back as a better team from this experience. That I couldn't be more confident in.
What specifically is motivating you heading into this year?
Yeah, I think that the response and the view on us as a group after having success last year and that kind of being looked at, as a little bit of like a fluke in some people's minds is, I think, a big motivation and irritation. So I think for us as a group, I think we have a ton of guys who have chips on their shoulders for different reasons. Everybody's been doubted one way or another. Me, a second-round pick, guy who got traded from his first team, So I think that everybody has different motivations, and I think that this just adds, chips on our shoulders to everybody as a group. And I think that's the exciting part, because I think that's why there was so much success and hunger last year, and that doesn't change going into this year, because we know what we're capable of. We've always known what we're capable of, and we don't need to talk about it. We'll just be about it this year.
Pacers down 3. Haliburton's got the ball. Haliburton rises up.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my!
Here we go.
Obi Toppin from Haliburton. Haliburton double pumps a 3 and hit it.
Judging by his momentum at this point in his career, I legitimately think that we're at a point where Haliburton is ready to be a consistent MVP contender over the next few years. Every player reaches that point where they're always going to find themselves in those league MVP debates on a consistent basis. Luka's at that point. Giannis was at that point. Jokic is at that point. And we just saw SGA get to that point last season. What he did with the Pacers by leading them to the East Finals was a sign that Indy will be one of the cream of the crop teams in the East for a while.
I feel like once Ty got here, you could see what we had in him and the style that, he likes to get up and down, pick and roll, just get people the ball. And you got to give credit to Rick and, his staff. They completely just changed the whole offense and gave the keys to Tyrese and said, here you go do what you want. And Tyrese has ran with it.
And the 2025 NBA playoffs are underway. He has 6 of their 8 points. Haliburton out to Siakam. He's lonely. Hits the tray. Haliburton working on Portis. Pull up. Got it. Things didn't chip me late. Damian Lillard and Tyrese Haliburton. Some trash talking.
Tyrese Haliburton's the most overrated player in the league. That's what the NBA Players Poll said.
I must be doing something right, if that's the case. I don't have a big speech or comment on it. All I care about is his locker room and winning games.
12-point game. Haliburton, 10-point game. Trent. Here's Haliburton with Portis on him. Haliburton behind the back. Over. Bobby Portis connects. Haliburton to the rim. Ties it. Haliburton, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Haliburton for the lead. 1.3 to go. And the Pacers are moving on. What a comeback in overtime.
Haliburton, man, maybe he's just the heir to Reggie Miller. He had the 4-point play that was awesome earlier this year. Everybody hates him. They hate the way he smiles. He makes clutch shots like this. I don't know what Reggie Miller's dad was like, but I can imagine him coming down on the court and screaming at an MVP as well. The guy was getting called overrated, and then he took over. That's great.
Well, this Tyrese Haliburton conversation is really interesting. This year, doggy, he is 10 of 11 in games to either tie or hit a winning bucket in crunch time. Like, he likes to have the ball in his hands.
9 seconds. They do have a timeout. Carlisle's going to let him play. Haliburton steps back and hits. Tyrese Haliburton trying to take Cleveland's heart. The Indiana Pacers in a Game 2 stunner.
For me, I just control what I can, man. Overrate that.